Today on Studio G, why recent college graduates may not be getting luck in finding a career.
Also, the seniors of the engineering competition are showing their skills.
It's finally here, the season finale of Studio G, and it starts right now. Welcome to the 50th and final Studio G Spring 2014 episode. I'm Donald Woods.
And I'm Victoria Janae.
It's been 5 years since the recession ended, but many are still feeling its effects, including college graduates. A new report by the Economic Policy Issue shows a grim outlook for both high school and college graduates.
1 in 5 high school graduates and 1 in 10 college graduates aren't working or in school. The report states that young people join a sizable backlog of unemployed college graduates from the last 5 graduating classes in an extremely difficult job market.
A result of the economy is that all wages have been stagnant for quite a few years. So unfortunately for people entering the marketplace, you're starting out a step or two behind.
It's a potential problem that future UNLV graduates can run into, but don't worry too much, class of 2014. There's still ways to score that job.
It's more competitive now. There are a lot more people going to college and moving out with those degrees looking for the same positions. So it's important that you find a way to make yourself stand out from the crowd. The more experience you have, the better chance you have. We require 1 internship. You can do 2 internships. You should really try to get as many internships as you possibly can. And don't ever forget volunteer work.
The report goes on to say that it is possible for students to overcome setbacks, but it could take 10 to 15 years.
Yesterday's UNLV Engineering School hosted their senior design competition at the Cox Pavilion, where students were able to show off their projects to the community. Reporter Elena Ledbetter went down to the event and spoke with one team on their special creation.
While many students are cramming for finals, these seniors are showcasing their high-tech inventions.
I think we did pretty good.
Braxton Tawato and his team were part of the many groups participating in UNLV's Engineering Senior Design competition. Their invention, identifying geographical locations through radio frequency emitters.
It captures data and sends it wirelessly, and sending wirelessly is actually a big deal. It seems like magic to people. That's because it almost is.
Their magical invention was possible because of the help the military offered the students.
So the military wanted us to develop this project to make it lightweight and deployable on UAVs. The current systems that are out today are big, bulky, expensive, they use a lot of power, and so that you can't put that on a UAV, it's not going to fly. So we're trying to design this for that purpose and also to test algorithms that they're making to try to make more efficient tracking of these emitters.
Underneath the hood of the small cart are the primary components of their magical invention.
So this is what detects the signals and what does wireless data transmission afterward. This is just a battery. This is a power circuitry to make sure nothing fries or overheats. This is our GPS module, which will record GPS locations constantly. And this is a Raspberry Pi, which is just basically a miniature computer that kind of runs the whole system.
The team presented with others in front of judges, local high school students, and others in the community. This team hopes for the best future of their magical invention.
I can see this being something either that we leave here at UNLV for future students to advance on in research, or to, depending on if the Air Force wants to take it all with them, then they will use it to test their algorithms in-house.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Elena Ledbetter.
We are proud to celebrate our thriving seniors.
Coming up after the break, new recruits are coming to UNLV Sports, and reporter Troy Fosgate will bring us with the latest sports rebel news.
The student organization can enhance and redefine the UNLV college experience. UNLV has over 200 registered student organizations on campus and in the Las Vegas community, encompassing a variety of interests, activities, and beliefs among the student body. To explore, access, and join a student organization, visit the Involvement Center website under my.unlv.edu. Be a rebel. Get involved.
NSPCA, where no animal has an expiration date.
Welcome back from the break. Concerns are growing within teachers at a New York high school after a violent video surfaced of a teacher being hit while trying to break up a brutal fight between two students. This video captures the moment when special education teacher Kevin Cody tries to stop the fight between two female students. In the process, however, he received punches on his head, back, and shoulder. The two teenage girls involved in the incident have been suspended from school and will be facing a disciplinary hearing. Cody is on sick leave for a previously scheduled medical procedure, but still fears returning to the school.
Every time I think about going back, I start to shake. I can't, right now I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I could ever walk back in there again, and I know I have to.
My issue is I see these kids and I care about them. I care about them passionately and feel myself going up because some of these kids, they have nothing.
Cody states that during the fight, no security officers showed up to assist in breaking up the two feuding girls. The only help he did receive was from another teacher. As a result of the brutal attack, Cody began hyperventilating, and he has filed an incident report with the school security and their union. The main concern, however, is the fact that the high school has become unsafe because there isn't enough security and students start fights constantly. This case is still under investigation, and the teachers are hoping that this type of incident will not happen again.
The Nevada Board of Regents has approved a contract extension that will keep UNLV basketball coach Dave Rice with the Runnin' Rebels for at least 4 more seasons. Last month, the 45-year-old UNLV graduate took his name out of the running for the top job at South Florida. The deal the Regents approved at their meeting in Las Vegas on Friday adds a 2-year extension good through the 2018-2019 season. The school said in a statement it includes an incentive package based upon academic and athletic success, but did not disclose any of the terms. Rice has compiled a record of 71-32 in 3 years at UNLV. His team have won at least 20 games in each of those seasons and made 2 trips to the NCAA tournament. And to tell us more, reporter Troy Fosgate has the latest sports news at UNLV. Troy?
It's Studio G News, and I am Troy Fosgate with your sports. Welcome to UNLV Rebel Sports, your Friday delight of anything and everything UNLV athletics. Let's start off with Runnin' Rebels basketball. The UNLV men's program received a signed letter of intent from top 250 2014 recruit Patrick McCaw. McCaw boasts the 4th highest recruiting class in the country, along with other signees Cody Doolin, Dwayne Morgan, Gulak Akonabo, and Rashad Vaughn. Let's move on to the next one, UNLV baseball. The UNLV Rebels are currently 16-8 in the Mountain West Conference as they travel to battle the San Diego State Aztecs for a 3-game series this weekend. Star pitcher Eric Fetty is selected within the 30-man midseason watch list for the 2014 Golden Spikes Award. Best of luck to him and the Rebels road trip out at San Diego. The UNLV women's golf team is currently sitting as the number 14th seed. As they are competing in the NCAA Central Regional this weekend, Alabama and California are currently tied for the lead. UNLV junior Dana Finkelstein leads the Rebels with a first-round score of an even par 72. She is currently tied for 6th in the tournament. Next, a new segment that I like to call Why We Love Sports. 2 high school teams from Arkansas got a chance to play at a minor league stadium to raise charity money for those affected by a recent tornado attack within their community.
I'm not used to this much. I mean, I heard there's supposed to be a big crowd tonight.
You know, usually you go out and you hate the team you're about to play, but I love it. I mean, I love every single one of them.
Overall, the charity baseball game was a profound success, with money exceeding the normal amount to repair one of the team's stadiums. The NFL draft wrapped up its first round last night. The Houston Texans selected Jadeveon Clowney as their first overall pick. Pair him up with J.J. Watt and Brian Cushing, they are sure to have a deadly defensive line for years to come. The last pick was Louisville quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. Selected by the Minnesota Vikings, they are hoping that he is their franchise player alongside potential Hall of Famer Adrian Peterson. Well, this concludes this semester's installment of UNLV Rebel Sports. Once again, I'm Troy Fosgate. Go Rebels! Back to the desk.
Thanks for that update on sports, Troy. So how's the weather been, Victoria?
Well, it seems like the weather has definitely died down, but Christina, how's our weather looking like today?
Well, if you've been outside, it was a little bit breezy, and those winds will continue on through tonight and possibly increase. But right now, for our current wind speeds, we have Mercury at 12 miles per hour and Tonopah at 14, Kingman at 26. And those winds are coming from this low pressure system off to the Pacific Northwest. And as that moves down, it will bring us those gusty conditions. And then we'll be right back after this break.
I just want to say thank you to all the viewers who have came and explored with me all over Southern Nevada. I hope after 2 seasons of Battleborn that Nevada can be more than just a place to live, but a home for you as well. Here are some of my favorite moments of Battleborn, and I'm dedicating this one to you, Nevada. Happy 150th birthday.
Way out in the land of the western sun, where the wind blows wild and free, there's a lovely spot, just the only one that means home sweet home to me. If you follow the old Kit Carson trail, where the desert meets the hills, you certainly will agree with me. It's a land of 1,000 thrills. Home means Nevada, home means the hills. Home means the sage and the pines, out by the Truckees' silvery rills, out where the sun always shines. There is a land that I love the best, fairer than all I can see, right in the heart of the Golden West. Home means Nevada to me.
All right, welcome back from the break. So this is where we left off. You can see that as that low pressure system moves on in, any precipitation will stay north of us, so we don't have to worry too much. But as that low pressure moves out, that will continue to cause severe weather warnings for the rest of the country. And this area is of concern right now, the South and the Mid-Atlantic. So they're under severe weather warning watch. But we only have to worry about winds. And so right now we're at 78 degrees, and we do have partly cloudy skies, and our winds are at 12 miles per hour. For some temperatures around the valley, we have the Strip at 78, the Lakes at 74, Kyle Canyon at 61, and we have Henderson at 79 degrees. So this is what the rest of your day will look like. At 3 p.m., we'll be at 87 degrees, and our winds will be 5 to 10 miles per hour. At 6 p.m., we'll be at 86 degrees, and our winds will stay constant. But then at 9, they will increase a little bit, and we'll drop down all the way to 80 degrees. So as that low pressure moves out, the rest of the week will start warming up, so our UV index is very high, and that will stay constant throughout the next few weeks, so don't forget to wear your sunscreen. The rest of your week will look like this. We have Saturday and Sunday will be breezy, and that low pressure system will drop down the temperatures a little bit. But then we'll start warming on up into the 90s and even possibly hit triple digits on Friday. And so for tomorrow, if you are going to be out and about, this is what your day will look like. We'll be in the low 60s, and then we'll get all the way up into the 70s. Now I'm going to send it back to desk.
So, Christina, this is your final weather segment. I'm just curious, how are you feeling?
I've been honored to give you guys weather twice a week, but I actually have a little surprise for our executive producer.
Really?
So can I get some music in here, please? Anybody, please, music. Is it on?
Whoa. Surprise, executive producer.
Woo! All right. Anyways, I'm going to give it back to you, Don.
Thanks for the weather update, Christina, and the dance. Coming up after the break, reporter Nicole Reynolds sits down in an interview. Stay with us.
We are volunteers of Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada.
I want this place to be a place that they feel safe, it's secure, a place where they get inspired. So many times we kind of get complacent in our everyday life, transforming lives in the community from the inside out. I've been in fitness my whole life, but now tying that in now in my spiritual walk, it's been just amazing. Some people may want to run a marathon. Some may want to just get off their asthma inhaler. Exercising and moving our bodies, I think it's, you know, we say if you don't use it, you lose it.
We are volunteers of Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada.
Good afternoon, Las Vegas. I'm Kyle King with your final entertainment news segment of the season. Remember the show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The show with the questions that you have to answer correctly to win money? Well, the season is coming back with a new big buff twist. Haha, this man right here will be the new host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He's hilarious. Terry Crews has been on a variety of comedy shows, such as Friday, White Chicks, and many more. Let's not hope he doesn't intimidate his guests who appear on the show. This man has muscles on his head. You can even see veins popping out of his head. Crews will be taking over Cedric the Entertainer, who hosted the show for 1 year and who planned to leave after that. Quote unquote, Crews says that he is beyond thrilled. He will join this show this fall. I was never a big fan of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but now Terry Crews will make that show entertaining. We live in an unfair society that is against openly gays in the media. I'm glad that this one man put his pride up high and did his thing on the front cover of the Rolling Stone magazine. Let's check it out. Neil Patrick is a hero to many people, and I support him in his movement. In more entertainment news, I was reading the Rebel Yell, and I saw something that disgusted me. UNLV continues to waste money on things that's not needed towards our school. Let's take a look at what we wasted money on. We bought a 21 by 48 LED video board that was installed for $400,000. I have respect towards the team as they did good last season, but $400,000 could have been used for more cameras for the journalism department or more money that could have been saved. Tuition will only continue to skyrocket the more we continue to spend. I'm disgusted. Anyway, in more positive entertainment news, there's one movie in particular that college students would be interested in. A movie about a couple that just wants to live peacefully, but their new neighbors are a bunch of partying frat boys. And that's the new Neighbor movie. Let's get a sneak peek.
Look, new neighbors.
Oh, is that a fraternity?
We're cool. Wicked, what's up? I'll go tell them to. Yeah.
Are you ready for a show?
That seems so lame.
Do it anonymously.
It's a good idea.
So, Don, how do you feel about the movie The Neighbor? Are you going to go see it?
Actually, my screenwriting class, the instructor, he's making plans for all of us to go see it all, probably down at Town Center, if not South Point.
Wow.
And Terry Crews for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm a fan of him. I would have never assumed that he would be the host of it, but I'm interested in watching it.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was
surprised
when I saw him being the new host of that. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to take the show seriously. I'm just going to watch the show just to be entertained by him.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Another holiday is around the corner, and our very own Val is outside talking to students who can give some ideas to those who have waited until the last minute.
Thanks, guys. I'm here on campus, and Mother's Day is just 2 days away. So let's check out what UNLV students are doing and buying for their special ladies.
Whatever she wants to do mostly. She usually likes going out to Mexican restaurants and just eating and having a fun time with all her kids.
Actually, me and my boyfriend both have mothers that we have to celebrate with, and we already bought his mother a small gift that we were at the store the other day. But for my mother, she definitely likes cooking and baking, so I planned on just getting a bunch of supplies, going to her house, and having a little bake between the three of us. So we can get a bunch of cookies and stuff, and it's not really expensive because we're both kind of tight in money, but it's still a very sweet and sincere way of spending time for mother and showing that we appreciate her.
I got her this cute, at the link there's this photo bar Polaroid place, and you get this box with 6 different Polaroids, and you can edit the picture and they print them out, and it's like thick too. It's really cute, so that's why I got her.
We always have this tradition where we home make cards for her, and then we take her out to dinner, and we surprise her with a place every time.
I really don't know, but I'm assuming that my family is going to go to breakfast or brunch, see a movie maybe.
And there you have it. For those of you who still have some last minute shopping to do, you better get on it. Time is ticking. For Studio G, I'm Valerie Mercenier.
Thanks, Valerie. You can never go wrong with flowers and spending quality time with your mom. Coming up after the break, reporter Nicole Reynolds sits down with Laura Johnson to talk more about what at-risk teens deal with.
The student organization can enhance and redefine the UNLV college experience. UNLV has over 200 registered student organizations on campus and in the Las Vegas community, encompassing a variety of interests, activities, and beliefs among the student body. To explore, access, and join a student organization, visit the Involvement Center website under my.unlv.edu. Be a rebel. Get involved. Participation in Greek fraternity and sorority life at UNLV can provide an experience like no other, with benefits including supportive friends, leadership and career opportunities, and community service.
Greek life at UNLV is really great because it's a good way to network and meet new people from all over the place.
We got academics and we're all about that culture. So we encompass everything all around, and we're out here and we're trying to better ourselves and try to make it better, and let's just make it all better all together.
Joining a student organization can enhance and redefine the UNLV college experience. UNLV has over 200 registered student organizations on campus and in the Las Vegas community, encompassing a variety of interests, activities, and beliefs among the student body. To explore, access, and join a student organization, visit the Involvement Center website under my.unlv.edu. Be a rebel. Get involved.
Welcome back from the break. I'm Nicole Reynolds, and joined with me today is the founder of House of Transformations. Why is that a tongue twister today? So, thank you for being here today.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me.
And I had a package that was going to run up that gives a little insight onto what the organization does. So why don't we go take a look at that right now?
Awesome. Great. Do it so well that someone's willing to pay for it.
And that's just what founder of House of Transformation, Laura Johnson, did. The House of Transformation provides workshops and therapy for at-risk teenage girls between the ages of 15 and 18 by employing them and teaching them responsibility, all while they partake in the art of making jewelry and participating in other positive exercises and therapy. However, the journey to her success began with personal failure.
One day I was ready to check out. I was done. I had my face pounded in by a girl, and my dog was taken away by a hawk. My grandfather died. I mean, like, everything that could possibly go wrong had gone wrong, and I was at the point where there was no return.
It was through the inspirational CD segments, The Hour of Power, that she began to see huge shifts in her life. She also began attending workshops and going to therapy. The House of Transformation assists girls the way she was assisted.
We have these trials and tribulations in life, and I think they're guided and directing us into the places where we're truly supposed to be in life. And
That's amazing that you've taken one art to help those who are kind of at risk. And I see that you've brought in a jewelry, and you're also wearing a piece that
is a little special to you, and it's similar to the ones that you have kind of made with your at-risk teens. Can you explain a little bit about it?
Well, what I love about this necklace is, you know, we have the power to do many things with our mind, and I actually bent the quarter with my energy, and I was talking to a hypnotician, and he had said, you know, hey, can I test your abilities? And I said, yeah. He says, pull a quarter out of your purse. I pulled a quarter out of my purse, put it in the palm of my hand, and he said, imagine it to be a chocolate coin like you used to eat when you were a kid. Do you have this vision? I said, yes. So I put it in the palm of my hand, and I focused all my energy in the palm of my hand, and he said, when you feel the coin to melt, let me know. I opened my hand and I said, oh my gosh, it melted. So I drilled a hole in it and made it a necklace to remind myself that this is how powerful our thoughts are. In a matter of moments, I was able to bend, you know, the structure of a quarter. So I just wear it to kind of remind myself that in a moment's instance, we can change everything simply by our thoughts.
And speaking of changing and using our thoughts to change things, you not only work with at-risk teenagers, but you also work with disabled children?
Well, one of the projects that I work with, the process itself is at risk. So it's kids with disabilities, kids that are sick, foster care, pregnant teens, things like that. And my friend Colin is blind, autistic, and was only born with one section of his brain, but he's a musical prodigy. He can actually play, hear a song on the piano and play it for you back. So his goal is to bring Stevie Wonder to Malaysia to do a concert benefiting the disabled children of the world. There's even a little boy that has no arms, and he plays the drums with his feet. So it's just so amazing how, again, how powerful our mind is, that even though you might have a disability, you're really not disabled, right?
And what kind of changes have you seen in some of the teenagers and young adults that you've been working with?
Well, sometimes we just need to be listened to, you know, someone just needs to be heard. And I think that's one of the greatest things that we offer at the House of Transformation is, you know, a listening ear to see, you know, what it is that could either change your life or create new possibilities.
And what are some of the other things that you do at the House of Transformation outside of making this amazing jewelry?
Sure. You know, it's all about entrepreneurship programs, art therapy of all kinds. I've been making jewelry since I was 12, owned an art gallery in San Pedro, California, so I know the jewelry business, and I really didn't want to rely strictly on donations. That's why I have a for-profit and a nonprofit side of the business.
And if people, because you don't do the donation side, what are other ways that
I'm always open to donations, right? Let's get that clear right there. But, you know, it's the for-profit and nonprofit. The for-profit is obviously the jewelry, helping kids with online, you know, their own online stores, things like that. And then I do the coaching, so transformational coaching. And I'm a certified life coach by Denise Lynn. And a life coach helps you more obtain a goal. A soul coach is more about healing the soul to make you happy forever. And we do life coaching too, but it's more on a soul-based level to heal the wounds of your heart and your soul to, you know, become happier, productive members of society.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, and good luck with all your endeavors. And
thank you.
Thank you so much for working with people like that.
Of course, thank you.
And right now we'll be sending it back to the desk.
Well, it didn't seem like we have reached our final spring 2014 episode of Studio G, and your fifth and final season as well, Don.
Oh, that's right, Victoria. It's done. It's over. It's amazing how time flies. It seems like yesterday I was just coming in here into the studio for the first time, learning 202, learning how to edit Avid. You know, it just seems like yesterday, but time flies. All good things must come to an end. Well, that wraps up this season of Studio G, as well as my college television career. For 2.5 years, I've been a part of Studio G, bringing you news at noon that has spanned 5 semesters, the longest anyone has been in Studio G. This newscast, its reporters, its producers, and its production have been a crucial part of my life, as I have transformed our student newsroom and Greenspun Hall into my home, being here every hour of the day and night all year round, preparing to present to you. Being here has expanded my horizons and improved my life and teaching me lessons that have personally helped me grow spiritually, mentally, and professionally. As the life of a college broadcast student is challenging, from the laughter to the drama behind the scenes, I wouldn't want to do it at any other college other than UNLV, with no other students than the ones you see here today throughout this spring semester and from past seasons I've been a part of. As part of my goodbye, I'd like to say a thank you to our viewers, to the members of this season of Studio G, to the Studio G alumnus from past semesters, and a very special thank you to Dr. Gary Larson, the executive producer of Studio G, as you have been instrumental in guiding me through my college broadcast experience. Giving you my final sign-off, reporting from the anchor desk, here in Greenspun Hall, I'm Donald Woods, Mr. Studio G. And now I'd like to invite the other graduating seniors of the Studio G 2014 Spring Cast, who are now Studio G alumni, to come here with me to say their goodbyes and give their farewells. Congratulations to all of us. As we have all had a pleasure delivering news to you this spring, have a wonderful summer, and thank you all. Congratulations, guys.